Welcome. Welcome to Yoga Intermissions. Try this at home for sure. This is our 50-minute series of pretty much accessible yoga for most people, taking place live on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, but also recorded for your practice at any time. Thanks for the check-in on the AV. My name is Karen, coming to you from Salt and Sand Studios. It is for sure a crisp and crunchy October morning here in Mad River Valley in Vermont. We are entered into the stick season now because we have 6 seasons. There's certainly a stick season and mud season added to the regular 4. Let's go ahead and get started. Whew. Letting my voice be heard, but apparently also the frog in my throat. Today is a focus on release and receive. So an opportunity to release that which no longer serves us and to receive whatever is being offered, good vibrations, openness, etc. So lots of twists and back bends today. We won't do anything too unapproachable. So if you're looking for something a little bit more vigorous, you can change your bridge back bends into wheels, and you can do more to challenge, some of which I will offer you, as well as modifications where things don't work for you. Remember, as always, it is your practice. Nothing is required. If it hurts, please stop or modify. Child's pose and tabletop are great postures for you to be in if something else is not working for you, or if your body is just saying, give me a break. We'll start with setting our intentions, a little breath work. So sitting nice and tall, wherever you are, you could be on a chair, a cushion, or right on your mat or a rug. And if your knees are kind of hiked up a little bit, maybe you place something, stuff a blanket or put another prop underneath them to get a little comfortable. And we work to tuck the tailbone down, gather the belly in, and lift right from the top of the pelvis all the way to the breastbone. And then tuck the chin just a little bit. Hands wherever they feel comfortable is great for you. Maybe they're stacked in your lap, or maybe they're palms down. Notice the breath without changing it. Mine just changed because my body said I need more oxygen. A little loosening of the jaw. So you might bring the tip of the tongue to the back of the top teeth. Instead of pressing the head way back, lift the crown of the head and drop your chin. And check in with your shoulders. If they are feeling a little scrunched up or forward, see if you can make more space between them and your ears, as if you had long earrings and you want them to be shown off a little bit. We'll take the first 2 fingers of the right hand, place them between and above the eyebrows, and then gently rest the ring finger on the left nostril and the thumb on the right. We're going to block the left nostril, breathe in through the right. Block both nostrils, release the left, breathe out left. We'll take that again. Block left, open right, breathe in. Block right, open left, exhale. Another round. Block left, open the right, inhale. Block right, release the left, exhale. We switch sides now, but we block both nostrils to start. Then release the left, breathe in. Block left, open the right, breathe out. Again, both nostrils block. Release the left, inhale. Block both, open the right, breathe out. We have one final round in this direction. Block right, open left, big inhale. Block left, release the right, and breathe out. Block both nostrils. Release your hand to your lap, breathe in. Deep, deep, deep. A little teeny pause at the top to lengthen the spine a bit more. Imagine you're pressing the breath down and out your tailbone. Breathe out. Again, inhale from the feet to the crown of the head. A little weight and release through the feet. This time when we exhale, we'll breathe it loudly out of the mouth. Long, deep breath in. Open the jaw and let it go. Drop your chin to your chest. Imagine the noggin is super duper heavy and you can't hold it up. And check in with the arms. You might be hanging on to a little tension there. So see if you can loosen the biceps and triceps and let the arms get heavier. A little pendulum swing of the head left and right, taking your time. Nothing quick here. Just chin toward one shoulder. You could inhale on that. And as the chin drops to the chest, breathe out. Inhale, chin ticks to the opposite shoulder. Exhale, chin drops. Inhale, chin talks upward. Releases down, and then one more side. And it's down. Lift the chin parallel to the earth. And now we'll turn the head first over it doesn't matter which shoulder. I'm taking the right shoulder. That's an exhale. Inhale, chin forward. Exhale, chin opposite side. For me, it's the left. Inhale, chin forward. Beginning our twisting sequences. Chin moves back toward the opposite shoulder. Inhale, center. Breathe out, chin, opposite shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale. As you inhale, lift the chin, drop the head back. And as you exhale, tuck the chin, lengthen the back of the neck. Consider what brought you to your mat today, or maybe something about transition from season to season. We'll set an intention, or we'll use that motivation to guide our practice. And to do so, we'll use the sound of Om to sort of solidify that intention, that guidance into everything that we do, the breath, the movement, the spirit, the heart. Hands come to the heart, palms together. Thumb knuckles toward the chest and the chest toward the thumbs. And see if you can extend the space between the ears and the shoulders once again. We'll take a cleansing breath and we'll follow that with an Om. If you'd like not to chant, no big deal. You can imagine that Om is riding out on the exhale out your mouth instead. We'll take a cleansing breath. Inhale. Release out the mouth. Really generous breath in. Intertwine, interlace your fingers, send the palms forward. Reach the arms as far as you can. They might be a little bent, totally cool. We're going to lift the arms overhead, extending from the sitting bones all the way up to the heels of the hands. Breathe in. Exhale for a tilt over to your right or your left. You take your pick. Press the opposite sitting bone into the earth. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, tilt to the other side. We're taking our second movement of the spine. Inhale straight up and then take the palms behind your head. Might feel better if we were lying down, but see if you can open up the elbows a little bit more. Gather the belly in so you're really long in the spine, protecting the low back. Breathe in. Exhale, we're going to go ahead and tilt again over to one side, whichever side you started with. Rise back up and tilt to the opposite side. Drawing the elbow toward the hip on the same side. Lift back up. We're going to move back into a twist. So we twist over toward the first side. Check in with the knees. Open up the elbows. Breathe in. Exhale, come forward. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Hands drop behind the sit bones, the buttocks, the cheeks. I'm going to take a little lift all the way from the top of the pelvis to the breastbone. Lock the shoulder blades toward one another. They might not touch. Then open up the collarbones. Imagine you're creating this cool physical skeletal emoji, like a smile with your collarbones. And then maybe the chin lifts. We're moving in all directions of the spine from this seated posture. Scoop the belly in, drop your chin, sweep your arms around in front. Inhale. Exhale, crawl the hands forward. Once you reach the bottom of the breath, breathe in again. Exhale, crawl the hands forward. Drop your head, breathe in. Reach the heart forward, draw the belly in, crawl the hands a little bit more, and then come all the way down. Strengthening the belly, rise back up. You can use a breath out for that. That helps keep the low back safe. Hands return behind you. Shift onto your sacrum and switch the cross of your feet. Take your time. When we do asymmetrical poses, ideally we are making the whole thing symmetrical by taking it on the other side. Chin drops, arms sweep in front, breathe in. Exhale, reach the heart forward, crawl the hands as far as you can on that out breath and pause. Breathe in. A nice wave of breath as you exhale. Hands move forward once again. We're lengthening the spine, folding over. One more time, breath in. Lift the heart as if it could go past your fingers. Draw the hands forward and then drop everything, nice and heavy. And breath out brings you upright. We move into a child's pose. So come face down on your mat. I will meet you there. Knees are really wide. Big toes touch. Arms are long in front of you if they can be. A beautiful place to let your body be heard. Listening to the body. I remove my scarf. And note what the body might be saying. The body might be saying, oh, I have a little pain in my right shoulder. That's what my body is saying. Or it might be saying, hey, after those few movements, my lungs feel a little more filled with oxygen. My rib cage feels a little more open, creating space for the lungs. Or maybe the twists are saying, oh, yeah, my large intestine feels a little more relaxed. Or maybe you don't hear anything. Palms draw together, pinky fingers on the ground, sitting bones move toward your heels. Bend the elbows to bring the fingers to the back of the neck or between your shoulder blades. Forehead is resting on something, so if it resists, place something underneath it. Walk the elbows forward one at a time. Take a nice big breath in. Send the tailbone behind you. Exhale, settle in. We're opening up our shoulders, finding a little back bend here. Hands return to the earth. Spread the hands to their shoulders with distance. And then rise up to your knees and one at a time, extend your legs onto the earth. You're going to come into a very low Sphinx pose. So we're drawing the bony hips on the front of the body to the earth. Tops of the feet are on the ground. If it feels better, you can spread the feet a little wider than your hips. Elbows and hands are drawing the mat toward your hips. I'm going to move back a little bit so my shoulders are right over my elbows. Just a little back bend, really working from the navel. Lift that navel toward the spine. Reach the heart forward. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe here. 3, 2. Come all the way down to the mat. We're going to place the hands outside the mat, sort of around the height of your shoulders. And draw up onto your fingertips. It's almost like you're creating those, those spiders people are making with spider webs for Halloween. Draw your forehead to the mat. You might guide or glide the fingers back a little bit toward the hips so that the shoulder blades start to squeeze together. Press the bony hips on the front of the body to the earth, so you're lengthening your low back. Press the tops of the feet to the earth, and then imagine your navel could do a little push-up. So you're going to draw the navel away from the earth. And then very gently, we'll press into the fingertips, squeeze the shoulder blades, and lift with a breath in, fortifying the belly. We don't have to come up very high, but keep the neck nice and long. Breathe in. As you exhale, we're going to take a little look over to the left. Breathe in, come to center. As you exhale, a little bit of a look over the right shoulder. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, forehead to the mat, and we move to a tabletop. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. The toes should not touch here, the big toes. Your toes on one foot might touch each other. Fingers are nice and wide as if you have a big pickle jar underneath you. And you're working to have the elbows kind of gaze at each other. Find a little cat and cow shape here. Maybe starting with a cow feels good. As you breathe out, press away from the ground. Round the belly, drop the head, open up the shoulders. Inhale, drop the belly, retract the shoulder blades toward each other. Gaze and hips lift. We take 2 more of those, and if you like, 3 more after that might move into other shapes or motions. And a cat, finding your cadence. To a cow. And then maybe your cats and cows move a little left and right, or bring in hip circles, or maybe find your way into a forearm cat and cow, which feels very different. I'm going to take one of those for sure. Lots more work into the forearms and the hands. And you might be able to feel it even more in the low back if you take it from your forearms. We'll meet back in our tabletop. Walk the hands forward just a couple of inches. Tuck the toes under. And we're not lifting into a downward dog yet, but as we breathe out, we're going to float the knees off the mat just a little bit and bring the sitting bones toward the heels. Gaze can be toward your knees. Breathe in. Exhale, now move toward downward dog. Direction, not a destination. Maybe the heels hit the ground. Maybe they don't. Some pedaling feels really yummy. Starts to get a little more flex and mobility into the spine. Maybe we begin to feel the triceps and under the arms. The navel moves toward the spine. The sitting bones lift even as the heels draw energy toward the earth. Nod your head, shake your head, and breathe in and out. Rise to the tiptoes, breath in. Stay here with the heels high as you breathe out. Press your chest toward your thighs. Draw the heels back toward the mat. Inhale, come back to the tiptoes. Take a look past your hands. Maybe you bend your knees and then walk toward your hands for a forward fold at the front of your mat. Feet about 2 fists distance apart. Maybe a ragdoll, maybe a sway. Head like a boulder hanging off the bungee cord of your neck. Hands release to the earth. Hands glide to the shins, half lift, shoulders toward the hips, belly in. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Arms will float high. Samasthiti, hands toward your heart. Hands drop by your sides, mountain pose to Dasana. Feel how the October energy of the earth, this notion of earthiness, of transition, of release, allows you to lift up the inner arches of the feet a little bit. And it draws up into the inseam to the hips. And then upward to the shoulders, all the way to the top of the head. Here in mountain pose, perhaps imagining the mountains of Vermont. Sturdy, steady, previously verdant green. Now lots of tree trunks and a little bit of golden and red and yellow. Bring to mind any burden or sadness or maybe interaction that is not doing you any favors. Maybe you think of a few, or maybe it's just one, something that no longer serves you. And imagine that is a leaf on some part of your body here. A tree, leaf on a tree on your mountain. And with a nice big cleansing breath out, that leaf falls to the earth. At your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms high, reach for the clouds, this beautiful cleansing breath. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. We'll take that again, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise up. You can use a breath out for that to protect your low spine. You're going to land into Dasana. Mountain pose. Once again, steady, sturdy, strong, stable, grounded. And yet the top of this mountain, the crown of the head, connected to space. Heels of the hands draw to your low back. Fingers point downward. We press the fleshy part of the buttocks where they meet the low back. We press them down with the heels of the hands. Shift the hips forward an inch and start to engage the belly as you lengthen the front body, the side bodies, and the spine. Lift the heart toward the sky as if it's connected by starlight, and then draw the shoulder blades together a little bit more. You might feel a little movement around on your feet. We'll take that again. Fleshy part on the back of you down, hips forward, long torso, heart lifts, shoulder blades locked together. Maybe the throat starts to open up, and one more time, press the fleshy part down, shift your hips forward, lengthen the torso, squeeze, retract the shoulder blades, maybe drop the head back. Draw the belly in, stack the shoulders over the hips, bring your hands to intertwined fingers or hooked fingers behind you, open up your collarbones, draw the knuckles downward, tuck your chin a little bit. If you're squeezing your toes together, grasping at the mat, see if you can release them. We're going to sit into a modified chair pose, Utkatasana. Rock around on your feet until you can find a little bit more equilibrium left to right and a little more weight in the heels than the balls of the feet. Finding a little balance, we shift onto the right foot. Stay with the bent right knee and lift the left knee up. Step the left foot back just about a step and lengthen both legs. Collarbone still opening up. You might spread your feet a little left to right and find, once again, equilibrium, rocking around on your feet. Strong belly. We find a fold over the front leg, a Parsvottanasana sort of stance here. And maybe the hands float away from the spine as you fold. See if you can work the shoulder blades together and work toward a long spine. Hands drop, inhale, rise up. Bring your hands to your heart. Step the left foot up to meet the right. We'll take a chair pose from here. Feet can remain apart or big toes can touch. Arms will work out in front of you. I'm going to take off my sweater, starting to warm up. Chair pose, Utkatasana, one of my favorite Sanskrit words. In reality, awkward pose. And this time we're going to take a little twist with the right hand behind and the left arm in front. See if you can really stay strong in your chair. Imagine that that the thighs are spinning toward each other, even if the knees are not touching. And we're reaching from the center of the chest out toward the fingertips. We'll swing the right arm back in front of us and then drop the hands behind us once again. If you intertwined your fingers, interlaced your fingers, or hooked your fingers, you're going to try and take it the opposite way. Staying in chair, open up those collarbones. This time we lift the right knee in, stay with the left knee bent to start, and then step the right foot back about a step. You're going to extend both legs. Back foot is in a warrior one-leg stance. Reach the knuckles down, draw the belly in, press into the ball of the front foot, and then slowly fold over your left leg. Inversion bound Parsvottanasana. Don't have to come very deep. If you'd like to stay parallel with the spine to the earth, that's cool. Just tuck your chin a little bit. Arms reach. Rise back up, hands to your heart. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Once more, we'll move into chair pose with arms in front of us. Utkatasana. Lock the arms back into the shoulders. Beautiful. Belly in and up. Breathe in. Exhale, open up the left arm. Finding this twist as if the navel is orbiting the spine rather than working from the hips. Reach from the heart out to the fingertips. Retract the left shoulder blade toward the right. Come forward, lock the arms back into the shoulders, stay in chair, lift the arms overhead. See if you can draw that belly in and drop the sitting bones as if you're going to sit right behind your heels. Inhale, rise to standing. Breathe out, find your forward fold. We'll move into a halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step back, high plank. Maybe rock back and forth, really feel the power of plank. Drop your right knee to the earth. Untuck your toes. Kickstand that right foot a little out to the right. And we're going to move on to the right hand and float the left arm high for a modified side plank. Left foot is all the way on the earth. Toes point to the left. Lift the hips, open up the heart. Breathe in. Exhale, left hand down to the mat. Tabletop. High plank. Powering up, breathe in. Exhale, straight to downward dog. Breathe in, peel forward to your plank. Power up, space between the shoulder blades, belly is strong. Drop your left knee to the earth. Kickstand the foot out to the left. Come on to the right heel and peel open the right arm. Then that whole right foot comes to the earth as we find our side plank, lifting the hips forward and up. Open up that heart. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Return to your tabletop. A cat and a cow, or a cow and a cat. Whatever order, the chicken and the egg. Hands walk forward 2 inches, tuck the toes back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, peel forward to plank. Power it up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Make your way to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, belly strong. Exhale, forward fold. Rise to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, left foot to the back of the mat. Runner's lunge. Feel this out. Let your body talk to you here. You're kind of just hanging out on top of your right thigh. Come to your fingertips or place some blocks underneath your hands. Maybe heel toe the right foot out for balance. Get a nice long stance here. So you're reaching back with that left heel. And it's as if the belly energy is peeling away from the right thigh. We're going to come to floating over the right thigh. The belly hovers over the thigh. Hands face downward and they're by your hips. You got to really power up the right hamstrings and glutes. Rise up, crescent warrior. Very slowly, we're going to drop the back knee to the earth and untuck the toes. Gives us a bit of a lengthier stance in Anjaneyasana. We're going to move into a deeper twist, hands to the heart. Intertwine the fingers, open up the elbows, breath in. Exhale, twist over to the right. Let the palms cup your right hip. Drop your chin. See if you can work from the midline, left and right, as if that midline, top and bottom, was a little pole. If the right knee is not over the right ankle, you might change where the foot is. Maybe sink a little bit more into the front hip crease, opening up the left psoas, finding our twist. Maybe the heel of the right hand comes to the low back and aids you in finding your twist and tucking your tailbone. We slide both hands back to the right hip. With the right hand on the right hip, we face forward with the left hand on our heart. Left arm opens up to the left. Nice big breath in. You might even take that right thumb, jam it into your hip crease, and then imagine you could twist open that right thigh. Lift the left arm high. Breathe in. Exhale, sink deeper into the front knee. Breathe in. Exhale, tilt over to the right. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the left sitting bone. Squeeze around your left sitting bone with your glutes and squeeze the left thigh. See if you can find more back bend, a little more psoas opening in the front of the left hip. Both arms will float high. Hands come to the heart. We're going to take one more twist here. Maybe bringing the left elbow outside the left knee, or you could bring your forearm there, deepening our twist. Come front and center. Let the hands frame the front foot. Work your way into Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split. For some, that might mean using the hand to extend your front leg. You're getting it as long as you can, maybe with a bend in the knee, maybe not. We peel the right toes back toward the right side of the chest. Find a nice long spine. Gather the belly in, breathe in. Reach the heart beyond the mat and fold over your right leg. For some, it might feel good to alternately press the ball of the foot to the earth and then lift it back up. For others, that's too much. A bend in the front knee, totally cool. Come back to your motivation or your intention. Just giving your breath, your mind, your heart, your body a little reminder of why you are here. Bring the ball of the right foot back to the earth. The hands come inside the right foot. And we heel toe the right foot way out to the edge of the mat. Check that you can have the knee over the ankle. So you might need to move the foot backward. Here we're going to move into another twist. So pivot on the right heel with the right toes moving outside your mat. Check your back knee. If you need to adjust, go ahead. Right hand onto your right inner right thigh. Press that thigh away from you for a twist over to the right. If you like, you can breathe here for a few moments and then find your full lizard, or maybe you work into a quad stretch, which I will not demo. Pelvis is moving forward as opposed to downward. To move into your full lizard, hands plant under your shoulders. The foot becomes parallel to the mat again. You can peel it open like a book. Maybe the hands stay where they are, or perhaps they walk forward, allowing for the forearms to come downward to mat or maybe to a prop of some sort. Hands return to the mat. We're going to move into a wide-legged fold. So press the sole of the right foot back to the mat, tuck your back toes under, lift the left knee off the mat, and pivot toward the long edge of your mat. You'll probably need to adjust your feet so they are parallel toward one another. Heels out, toes in. Come to your finger tops, place them on the mat underneath your shoulders. Lift halfway up. Get really, really long. Just find all those little places where you can create space in the spine. Top of the head to the shoulders. Shoulders to the sitting bones that reach behind you and up. Belly in and up helps. Breathe in. Exhale, fold over. You're welcome to spin your fingertips to face the opposite side of the mat and walk your hands through your heels. But here, rather than thinking about this as a fold, think about it as pressing the hips toward the sky. So especially the inner edges of the feet are really meeting your mat to press the legs along. In an in-studio class, I would have us turn to the opposite side of the mat. But since this is video, hands come back under the shoulders. Heel toe the feet toward one another. Hands come to the hips. Rise halfway up. Breathe in. Exhale all the way up. We return to the front of the mat, taking a nice big step, and shake it all out. Shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. All right. Back to our regular programming. Arms sweep high. Fold over your legs. Half lift. Fold over your legs. Right foot to the back of the mat. Runner's lunge. Set yourself up here. Find the beauty. Find the length. Find the power in your lunge. Powering up that back leg. Activate the belly. Hover over your left thigh. Hands by your sides. Squeeze the shoulder blades. This is a back bend right in your upper back as you retract the shoulder blades toward each other and rise up to your crescent warrior. It is yours. You are forming it today. Inhale, squeeze the back, the right glutes and hamstrings, and then slowly lower the right leg to the earth, knee to the earth. Untuck your toes. Hands to your heart. Fingers intertwine. Elbows reach out side to side. Breathe in. Exhale, a twist over to the right. Hands drop to cup so the palms cup your hip. And maybe we move a little deeper into the front knee. Press into the heel of the left foot, the shoelace side of the right. Heel of the left hand to the low back. Twist a little deeper. Left hand back to the left hip. Face the torso forward. The right arm reaches straight out to the right. Maybe the left thumb sneaks into the hip crease of the left thigh, and you spin the left thigh outward a little bit. Right arm floats high. Breathe in. Get tall. Exhale, tilt over to the left. Opening up the heart, gather the belly in. Squeeze the right glutes. If you're grabbing onto the mat with your left toes, as I just was, see if you can loosen them. Hands to your heart and a twist over to the left. Maybe the right elbow is outside the right thigh. And you can cup your left fist in to the palm of the right hand to get a little bit deeper. If it's helpful for you, a half bind. And a smile on your face. We come front and center. Frame the foot for a half split. Alternating the movement, if you like, between the toes toward the torso and the ball of the foot onto the earth. Pause for a couple breaths, long spine. Sole of the left foot plants on the earth. Hands come inside that foot. The foot heel toes out to the left, and we make sure that the ankle and the knee are stacked. Adjust your back kneecap if need be. Point your left toes to the left. Find your twist. Listen to the body. Find where it feels good. Move into a quad stretch if you like. If you have it, we'll take 2 more breaths. Left hand returns to its place under your shoulder. Foot comes parallel to the outer edge of your mat. Peel open your foot like a book. If you like, as the hips move forward, you could draw your forearms to the ground or to a tabletop. Nice to have such hip opening practice on a cool day, even though our focus today is release and receive. From a twisting perspective and a back bend perspective, we're still releasing with this posture. Hands return back under the shoulders. Time to move into deeper back bends. We come to a tabletop. Adjust your knees, maybe a couple cat-cows, maybe a couple hip circles. Anything that the body calls for, let that happen. We'll move into Anahatasana, known as inchworm, sometimes as puppy dog. So we get ourselves into tabletop. Make sure the feet are not touching and the knees are right below the bony hips. Long, long spine. So round a little into your spine first and draw the belly in. And slowly we walk the hands forward. It really is like a cat or a dog finding their place somewhere until your forehead, your chin, or your chest can come to the earth. The hips stay directly over the knees, and the head rests on something. So if that needs to be a prop, let it happen. Shoulders can often get grumpy. Mine do, at least one of them does. So the elbows can bend out to the sides. Nice and wide. A great place to return to your intention or your motivation. And to return to the breath, because sometimes we get in this very vulnerable position, even though we're facing the mat. We don't want to relax into the posture. The body's saying, hey, I want to protect myself. So I'm not going to soften, but that's kind of like yoga prevention. So check in with yourself, with your brain, with your heart, with your body, and see if you're holding on anywhere here. And maybe what you do is focus on the breath, and with each exhale, the heart softens a little more and the shoulder blades come together a little more closely. Or maybe you bring to mind something that you just smile about. Something that brings that smile feeling to your whole body. It could be, I don't know, happy babies, and I don't mean the pose. Although it could be an actual baby and a happy baby. Or maybe it's puppies, or maybe it's a particular place or piece of music or piece of art. Let that kind of settle. Rather than having it settle in the front of the heart, let it settle in the back of the heart. It's as if you're receiving that sense of kindness and happiness from whatever it is you're picturing. Gather the belly in, lengthen the spine, and press yourself briefly into a child's pose. You want to be very careful with the low back. Balasana 1 with knees together is great after Anahatasana, where you can bring the top of the head to the earth and sweep the hands around behind you. Knees are together. We're not going to stop there, though, even though we're coming up toward our 46-minute marker. We're going to end on our back, so crawl yourself forward, find your way onto a hip and all the way onto your back on your mat. Keep the soles of the feet on the earth and the knees pointing toward the sky. For the purposes of those with low back issues like me, I will not cue you to bring your heels really close to your sitting bones. I am cueing you to move the feet forward a little bit, so there's more space between the heels and the buttocks. Shoulder blades move toward the hips on the same side, and then without shifting anything except the pelvis, we press the low back against the earth. So the pelvis tilts toward the sky. Hands are by your sides. We're energetically and physically connected to the earth. And on an exhale, we shift the knees forward like we're dragging the feet backward to lift the hips off the mat. And then we tilt the pelvis toward the sky, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hamstrings, and maybe one at a time walk the shoulders toward each other. This is a more Pilates style back bend. Imagine that the heart is shifting a beautiful ray of light right up to your forehead and then past it. Soles of the feet are all the way on the earth, and we breathe here. We are going to take a second one of these, and you're welcome to take a wheel if you feel open enough for that. But we'll breathe here for 2 more breaths. Another inhale. And as you exhale, unzip the spine all the way to the earth. For some, you might just like a little bit of shifting to lengthen the spine. You could draw the knees together. And otherwise, if you're ready, you'll move into your second and final supine back bend. A bridge, a wheel, a supported bridge, whatever feels right for you. Working most of your effort into protecting the low back as you open up the heart. That means hamstrings, glutes are active, pelvis is tilted toward the sky, shoulder blades draw together like they're magnetically attracted, and the heart lifts. And we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. Unzip all the way back to the earth. Bring your knees in toward your chest. You do that one at a time till they meet. Tuck your chin and find some circles with your knees. And plant your feet as wide as your mat or wider. Let the knees drop together. And see if the arms can spread left and right, so the palms face upward, a receiving gesture. And slowly, methodically, windshield wiper the legs left and right. And when you're ready, you can pause with the knees pointing to one side, as close to the earth as you can get them. And then just slowly turn your gaze opposite direction of the knees. Chin points toward the sky, and we gently draw the knees so that they drop down to the other direction. And the nose points opposite the knees. Nose toward the sky, knees toward the sky. And one final posture before moving into your Shavasana shape. That could be virtual legs up the wall, happy baby, knees hugged into your chest, or maybe you move directly into your Shavasana shape. I'm going to find virtual legs up the wall, hands under the low back. Legs are long, but we're not forcing them to be straight. You might even find some wiggles in the toes and the ankles feel really good. And then gently, your final posture, whatever that is. Palms face up. This is part of our receiving. The low back is long. Take a long breath in. Let it go out the mouth. Without too much effort and no effort in the breath, just settle back into your intention or your motivation, or maybe something else comes to mind right now, or maybe it's simply a feeling in your heart space. Just give that a couple of moments of breath. Allow now for the breath to deepen and movement to return to the body, gathering momentum to allow you to roll onto one side. Doesn't matter which side. Curled up into a little ball, consider the beauty that is your human form, your breath, your heart, your mind in yoga practice. And find a little gratitude for yourself for making it to your mat today, whether this is the live moments or the recording. And gently with your head heavy, press yourself back to a comfortable seat. Palms joined together at the heart as if they found their home there. And we share the benefits, the merits of this practice outward, just like a candle with its flame lighting many candles. The flame does not flicker out in that original candle. We'll use Om. Big breath in. Thumb knuckles connect right at the center of your forehead. May you release that which doesn't serve you. May you receive that which does. Namaste. An honor to practice with you, even if this is during the recording. My name is Karen, Salt and Sand Studios. If you have a moment and you have funding, please donate coming to our website at saltandsandstudios.com. If you don't have the funding, don't worry about it. That's why we do yoga intermissions tries at home, is to make yoga accessible to as many folks who desire to use the tool as possible. Hope to see you again soon. My name is Karen. Enjoy your day or evening.